Hey everybody, hope we're doing well tonight. This is Marshall from Wolves Den TV, and today we are dropping off a quick video, tonight rather, talking about the 2026 games that got me hyped. Now, if for some reason you're watching this in the future, thank you. But we are in the beginning of April, so there might be a couple on this list if you're watching in retrospect that you're wondering, hey, why isn't this on the list? All that good stuff. We'll talk about that briefly, but this is the beginning of April. So from this forward, what games got me hyped? We're going to get right into it. If you could please drop a like, hit subscribe, write a comment. What are you hyped for? What do you disagree? What do you agree with me on? That'll help this small channel a lot get off the ground. So without further ado, let's talk about our first game, Forza Horizon 6. Come on. I know everyone is thinking that. This is what we've been waiting for. This game is set in Japan. Everyone is hyped. Everyone loves Forza Horizon. I was really late to the party. I think my first one that I actually played was Horizon 5, set in Mexico. These games got a huge world, tons to do, tons of cars. It is so much fun to just relax. It's the ultimate get home from work or get home from school game and just relax. I played kind of after the hype, so I didn't even get the experience really of playing with my friends and enjoying all of that because I played mostly solo. So I imagine the multiplayer component is going to be awesome. Such a fun game, such a great series. I think everyone's excited. Next up, we got Phantom Blade Zero. I don't know if you're like me, but if you've been following this game for a while, you have seen the first trailer blow everyone's mind. Action combat, samurai craziness. I don't know if it's exactly a Souls-like or if it's going to play more like Devil May Cry or something. We'll have to see. I've watched a lot of the footage. I think it's kind of Souls-like, but the graphical fidelity is ridiculous. It's dark. It's gritty. It looks like a ton of fun. It is right up my alley, and you're going to see a lot of common overlap in my favorite kind of art styles in this list. But Phantom Blade Zero has been on a lot of people's radar for many years. You're gonna see a lot of cool trailers coming out, and the fact that we're getting our hands on it this year has got me really, really excited. So Phantom Blade Zero, I have my eyes peeled, or has my eyes open. I just can't wait. I can't wait. Next up is the big dog. I was gonna put this later in the list, but I know everyone's waiting for me to say it. Grand Theft Auto 6, GTA 6. I mean, come on. What is there to say that hasn't already been said? In one video, I mentioned that I'm a little upset because I'm about to be 26. In the first half of my life, Rockstar released so many games, from 0 to 13. From 13 to 26, I only got GTA 5 and Red Dead 2. So the fact that we're getting GTA 6 this year feels surreal. It doesn't even feel real. I've seen the graphics. I'm skeptical that the graphics are going to look as good as the trailer. They say it's gameplay, but I don't know. What's the trade-off? Is it going to be 30 FPS like Red Dead 2? I don't know. But come on, everyone's going to have a blast playing that game when it comes out. The multiplayer stuff is going to go crazy. Everyone's excited for Grand Theft Auto 6. Your grandma knows about Grand Theft Auto 6, okay? So everyone knows about it. Everyone's excited. I don't want to be too negative. I am a little worried. This is the first time I'm worried that Rockstar might miss. If you've seen some of the writing, I haven't played Grand Theft Auto in a long time. Grand Theft Auto Online in a long time. But if you've seen some of the writing and some of the cutscenes of some of the online content, which they clearly put a lot of their focus into, it's got me a little nervous. It's kind of cringe. It's like millennial core cringe. Shout out my millennials. I love you guys, but I think you guys know what I mean, right? Just that weird, awkward, early internet humor that aged like cheese. So I really, really love Grand Theft Auto for its on the par South Park level satire. Hopefully the writing is far, far better than what GTA Online's recent stuff has. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch some of the cutscenes. It's like cringe. It's like Disney Marvel cringe, except for it's Grand Theft Auto. So I don't want any of that in GTA 6. And you know what? I'll be optimistic. I don't think it will be. So Grand Theft Auto 6, it's on everyone's radar. Let's all hope that it doesn't get delayed again. Next up is Saros. This is the developer Housemarque Games, I believe. They gave us Returnal. They gave us Resogun. Resogun was an amazing PS4 game, and Returnal was criminally underrated. I believe it came out very early in the PS5's life cycle. Might have been a launch title. I'm not exactly sure. I'll make sure to update that in the edit. But Saros looks like it's going to be upgrading and enhancing everything that Returnal had to offer. And if you want to know what that was like, Returnal was a AAA third-person roguelike shooter game. So Saros is going to be that. Now, that is interesting because roguelikes are really fun, endlessly replayable, super addicting, but they're pretty relatively low budget, simple art style, all that kind of stuff. And Returnal was like crazy big budget, third person, massively long runs. And Saros is turning this up to 11, okay? So a lot of the early IGN reports and other reports of people that have got their hands on it have said this game runs so smooth, the graphical fidelity is so good, they have fine-tuned their craft. And unfortunately, I didn't beat Returnal. So on my checklist for Saros would be something a little bit more focused, a little bit easier to digest. Some of the mystery, I hope the mystery is still there, right? But Returnal was maybe overly complex. Some of the mechanics were a little bit too tricky. Saros is a bullet hell, third-person, high-budget AAA roguelike. I think that's up a lot of people's alley. So I am excited for that. Next up, kind of in that vein, I'm going to be adding some pictures of some of these games to give you guys an idea. This game's art style is going to look very similar, and that is Control Resonant. Okay, so this is a legendary producer or developer, Remedy Entertainment. Unfortunately, I don't think I've ever finished a Remedy Entertainment game. I've liked them. They have been on my radar. I own probably all of them except for Alan Wake 2, but I've never actually finished one, and I'm really hoping that Control Resonant's pacing grabs me enough to finish it. It is a sequel in the Control sense, but we are not playing as the original Control protagonist, rather someone else, and it's going to be melee focused, and that sounds really, really cool. Remedy always gives us insane psychedelic journeys in action combat, unparalleled art style. Do yourself a favor and watch the Control Resonant reveal trailer, and I will give anyone $1,000 if that doesn't remind them exactly of Inception. Okay, it wears its influences on its sleeve. That city folding in on itself is high art. That sounds awesome. So Control Resonant, I have a lot of hope for. Now, next up is a game that has no release date and probably will not come out. But when I was putting this list together and I was doing my research, I was really hoping, looking at the lists of 2026 game releases, that I would see this one on there. And I didn't. This breaks my heart. This game is Little Devil Inside, okay? I have been following this game forever. It's set to be a PlayStation-only release. The first trailer I ever seen had the best Pixar-like art style. It hooked me. I can't exactly explain why, because I don't know, and I don't think the fans know, and I really don't think the developer knows what kind of game this is. But the art is amazing. It looks cozy. It looks fun. It doesn't look like something that's typically up my alley, but I think the reveal trailer might have been in 2021. We'll add an edit note in there. I have not forgot about this game in 5 years, if that's the case. April 2026, I think about this game all the time. The art style has never left my mind. I want to know what the gameplay is like. I don't care if it's simple. This game is stuck in development hell from what it sounds like, because this isn't a AAA game by any means. It really shouldn't be taking that long, but I am just so excited for Little Devil Inside, and I really, really hope that it's coming out this year, finally. The only negative thing I need to say in this video is one game that I am not at all excited for, that I think a lot of people are, is I just wanted to address Fable, okay? Where do we even start? Where do we even start with Microsoft and Xbox? When I was doing my research for this video, Fable was one of the big game, top 5, top 10 game releases of 2026 that needs to be on your radar. Xbox is pouring a lot of money into this, a lot of marketing dollars into this. They want this game to be in our radar, and it is. And I've watched it, but this is what the game looks like. And I don't know, dude. It just looks like a complete miss. It looks like a complete miss. I'm born in 2000. I think a lot of people my age specifically hadn't played a lot of the early Fable games. I think it's popular with like a slightly older than myself crowd. I want this game to succeed. I like medieval fantasy. I've done my research. I know that the Fable franchise had awesome RPG mechanics, but dude, I mean, what is this art style? This is not at all where I thought we were headed, where I thought we were going with a Fable reboot. It looks ugly. It looks totally like the edges are softened. I've done research on this. I think they're taking out the mechanics that like change your character's appearance based on his karma level and his choices. I think they're getting rid of a lot. I think they're mass marketing a medieval, dorky kind of Disney looking game with looking combat, and I think they're calling it Fable so that it'll sell a lot more copies. Now, one caveat I have to mention, I hate to be negative in this hype video, but I just had to address it because I know everyone's going to say, where's Fable? And I'm going to get a lot of hate for not being excited. But this is developed by Playground Games. The same company that is making the game that I'm maybe most excited for is Forza Horizon 6. So that is really weird. We'll have to see how does a car racing game developer do with a medieval fantasy RPG. We'll have to see. I would love to be surprised. Next up, I want to speak briefly about Lords of the Fallen 2. It seems like this game didn't come out that long ago. It had a 2.0 launch not long ago, and I was blown away that the developers announced a sequel, showed us awesome looking footage, and yeah, I mean, what can we say? It's a Souls-like. It's dark, it's gritty, this game looks more hardcore, it looks crazier, and I'm about it, okay? I don't have a whole lot to say because not a whole lot has been revealed, but I defended the Lords of the Fallen reboot in my most underrated games video. If you guys want to check that out, shameless plug. But Lords of the Fallen 2 looks to be improving on all those mechanics. This is a big year for Souls-likes, and I have a lot of Souls-likes on this list. So we'll just have to see how Lords of the Fallen 2 bounces back from a sort of mediocre launch. I love the game, and I'm ready for it. Let's get into the next one. Insomniac's Wolverine game. Come on. You knew this one was on here. There's a part of me that doesn't think this game is coming out this year. I would love it to. Insomniac is one of the most consistent developers in the game. Obviously, they made the Spider-Man, PS4, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. That's kind of all the games that has been on my radar by Insomniac besides Sunset Overdrive. But the Wolverine game is, if you ever ask yourself, okay, I love the Spider-Man's gameplay. Maybe it's a little too kiddie. Maybe it's a little too, I don't know, soft for me. I want blood. I want gore. This is Insomniac saying, I got you. Okay, so they got the Marvel license, and they look to be taking full advantage of Wolverine's brutality. Not a lot has been shown, though, okay? So I know I'm like low-key glazing this game, but the thing is that I just trust Insomniac as developers. Their performance on PlayStation is incredible. Would love a PC release of this game, although I think Sony said they're kind of not interested in that anymore. But Insomniac's Wolverine's game is set to be good, and they're set to be amazing, really. And I just trust Insomniac as developers. I think they're in good hands. So that's on my radar. I think that's on everyone's radar. Another Souls-like, Mortal Shell 2. Okay, the art style is really saving this one because I didn't play a lot of Mortal Shell 1, so I won't spend a lot of time on this section. The reveals trailers look good. I believe in these developers. It was like a AA Souls-like, the original, and I think this is going to be a double A sequel of a Souls-like. Although, you know, if you know anything about me, you're going to see all these photos throughout this video, and you're going to see, wow, this guy likes some dark, medieval, gritty art styles, and Mortal Shell 2 looks to be having that. So a dark, high-fidelity Souls-like is going to be on my radar no matter what. Mortal Shell 1 had nothing but promise. It didn't wow me, but I think the second one has promise to wow me, and I'm really, really excited for that. So I'll be playing that. Next up is another one that needs to prove to me that it's going to hit, but Optimistic Marshall is feeling pretty good. Okay, that is Silent Hill Townfall. I did not even realize that another Silent Hill was going to be coming out this year. I had no idea. Silent Hill 2, the original, and the remake have a big place in my heart. This is a franchise that I love, despite not having spent a lot of time with it. But as a musician, I know so much about the legendary soundtrack, the legendary score. Silent Hill Townfall is hopefully their comeback. I think they're seeing the success that Resident Evil is having, and they're throwing money at Silent Hill, trying to revive it. And I have faith. Silent Hill 2 remake was fantastic. Silent Hill F was not disappointing. It didn't hit for me like I'm hoping Townfall is. That's what I'll leave it at. I did not complete Silent Hill F, and unfortunately it just didn't hook me as much as I wanted, and I tried really, really hard. But anything Silent Hill is going to have my attention, so that's why I made this list. Please deliver. I want to knock out. I think they've got it. Next up has got to be the most deflating, disappointing one on here, and that is Duskbloods. Now, not because of the game itself. Actually, that's what makes this so frustrating. The game itself looks amazing. The game itself looks like Bloodborne. If you know anything about me, Bloodborne might be my favorite game of all time on any given day. I love Bloodborne. We've been asking for a remake. We've been asking for a remaster. Hell, we've just been asking for a FPS boost update or a PC port. Like, give us the minimum and we will be feasting. So, well, what happened? Well, they gave us the Duskbloods reveal trailer. It looks amazing. It's gothic. It's crazy. It's wicked. The enemy design is nasty. And most of all, it looks like Bloodborne. That's FromSoft's crown jewel. Okay? So, Marshall, you're glazing. This game looks so good. Well, it's a Switch 2 exclusive. They're releasing it on a kid's console? This dark and gritty game, the next game from the Elden Ring developers, the next actual game, because Elden Ring, Night Rain, get that out of my face. They're giving us on the Switch 2? A kid... I'm sorry, this is not going to be a console seller. I know Nintendo must have thrown a ton of money at FromSoft because I am not going to go out and buy this console just to play this game. I don't care how bad I want it. I don't care if Bloodborne 2 is everything I wanted and we're kind of like getting it and it's not coming out. Now, if this channel blows up, I would use the money from this channel to buy a Switch 2 just to give you guys a review. But that's it. I would never buy it with my own money. And that's certainly not going to happen anytime soon. Now, the other problem is I don't think it's single player. I've heard whispers that it's a multiplayer. Ugh, gross. We're just losing the plot, guys. Night Rain didn't hit for me, and I don't think it hit for most people. And the ones that love it, I think it might be a little bit of cope, I'm going to be honest. But I heard it's like an extraction. Like, dude, what is this trend with taking great single player franchises and making them multiplayer for no reason? And then you throw it on the Switch too? I trust FromSoft. I trust Miyazaki. But come on, guys. What are we doing? All right, next up is something that's got me... So that's a big AAA release. This is going to be another smaller release that's got me excited. That is Valor Mortis. I talked about this in another video, but this is from the developers of Ghost Runner. Okay, so Ghost Runner was a first-person cyberpunk-style insane ninja game, basically. And they said, okay, so what if we make a Souls-like... How many is that? Is that the fourth? Is that the fifth? I don't even know. What if we make a Souls-like? And everyone goes, ugh... We got Code Vein, we got Duskbloods, Mortal Shell, Lords of the Fallen, Control Resonant might play like one, Phantom Zero. Okay, that's just the games on this list. Think about all the Souls-likes that have come out beforehand, okay? Steel Rising, you name it. So everyone's rolling their eyes, oh great, another Souls-like. So how is Valor Mortis going to stand out? Well, they go, yo, what if we made it first person though? All right, now you've got my attention. Okay, now you got my attention. That sounds awesome. What if we put it in a Napoleonic time period where things are disgusting and twisted and weird and there might be guns, there might be magic and swords, and you go, okay, hold on. Now we are cooking something. And then you remember, like I said, it's the Ghost Runner devs. Those boys don't miss. I think they're going to be cooking up a really polished, really great AA experience, and I don't want this to be underrated like Ghost Runner 1 and 2. I want this to be a home run, slam dunk, and you know what? I think it just might be. We're going to wrap this video up with my final game of the year is releasing very soon. That's why I put making this video on the top of my order because I wanted to get this out before this game comes out. And this game is Pragmata. Capcom is simply on a roll. That is why this game made my list. They have not missed for me lately. The comeback is real. They are crushing it. Pragmata is I think it's their attempt, if I had to guess, because I don't know, I don't have my hands on the game. If I had to guess though, this is their attempt at a Sony-esque AAA story-driven game with good combat. And it features this like robot guy and a little girl that's his companion. Nobody knows the deal. This game is very anomalous and confusing by nature, but it's got my attention. They're trying new things with combat. Some of these screenshots are going to make no sense to you because they made no sense to me. And you know what? I like that. I simply trust Capcom. Okay. Now, if you remember in the beginning, I said there's a couple games on here that didn't make the list, and why is that? Well, that's because Resident Evil 9 was probably my most anticipated game of the entire year, and guess what? I got it installing right now to give you guys a review, but that came out in February, I believe, late February or March or something like that. So January, February, March games simply didn't make this list, but Pragmata is giving us I believe from the same studio or same publishers as Resident Evil 9, and I cannot wait. So those are my thoughts, everyone. We've got action, we've got a racing game, we've got a lot of Souls-likes, and we've got a couple indie gems in there as well. So if I had to rank my top 3 most hyped games, in no particular order, but just the 3, it would be Forza Horizon, Grand Theft Auto, because I know, I kind of dunked on the game, but it's Grand Theft Auto, and then Phantom Blade Zero. Honestly, Little Devil Inside would have taken Grand Theft Auto's place or Phantom Blade Zero's place for sure, but who knows if that game is ever coming out. So please leave a comment. What are you excited for? What game did I miss? What game should I have talked about more? What are we thinking, guys and girls? I'm super excited to hear your guys' feedback. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you could leave a like or a comment, that would go a really, really long way. We're going to be talking about music, movies and games and TV shows. Anything you guys want, I'm here to discuss it if it's something that I have an opinion on or something I know a little bit about. So this is my most hyped, anticipated games of 2026. You guys have a good one. This is Wolves Den TV signing off.